Hey guys, and welcome back to another video for Alex's Flying Club. We are in the venerable Douglas DC-3, the modified Norman Hancock version for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004. And I'm continuing my series for the DC-3 Airways World Rally 2013. And I had actually flown this flight in January 9th, I believe, but I'm recording this narration in April. In late April. So it's been a while. I have the footage and I've been waiting on it. Had other videos that I was doing and wanted to put up first, but I do want to continue the series and I actually want to finish the other 5 flights in the rally. I did half of them. I did the first 5, but I didn't complete the other half because school had started and I wanted to try flying civilian passenger jets. So now that I've got a handle on some of those jets, I want to dabble and come back to the DC-3 because I do love flying it as well. And my future videos are going to be with the MAMSIM DC-3, which is a great add-on, which I'm planning to get in the coming month or so. But to return to this video, this is a flight from Italy, specifically Pescara Airport in Italy, and we're going to be flying to Geneva Airport in Switzerland. And forgive me if I don't remember everything from this flight. I am looking at my notes, but I may not recall some of the things that I wanted to mention initially because it is about 3 months after the fact that I'm doing this narration. So here we're taking off, and pretty much we're going to be crossing through northern Italy and flying into Switzerland, and we'll get some nice views of the Swiss and Italian Alps. This flight was not on VATSIM, because mostly the weather conditions have to be replicated for what this flight was intended to be for the World Rally. And we're taking off in the early evening, and as we're going to be flying into Switzerland, the sun's going to start setting and it's going to create some nice views over the Alps. This is going to be a long flight. In terms of this video, I've edited it down to about 20 minutes, but the flight itself took over 3 hours. 3 hours and 20 minutes to be precise. And my recent interest in the DC-3 has been rekindled by a book that I'm reading. It's called Fate is the Hunter, a Pilot's Memoir by Ernst K. Gann. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It might be Gone, with 2 N's. And this is a great memoir, kind of a classic in the aviation history. And he talks about the early days of commercial aviation. I've just begun reading it, but he does talk about his first flights in a DC-2 and a DC-3. And really interesting, kind of takes me back in time. I'm already learning a lot about these aircraft. For instance, you may look at a DC-2 and a DC-3 from the outside and think that they're pretty much the same plane in terms of flight characteristics, but in actuality, the author describes in detail his struggles with the DC-2 because it was a lot more difficult to fly than the DC-3, especially on landing. So I'm looking forward to continuing to read this book, which was actually recommended to me by an actual pilot that I had met a couple years ago. I gotta say, it's hard to come back to flying offline once you get used to flying on VATSIM. even just the fact that there's people out there online on the same server as you, even if there's no air traffic control, there's something about being online that makes it more immersive for me, makes it more real. So I'll have to finish these flights most likely offline, but it'll be an adjustment because flying on VATSIM, it's hard to describe, but if you haven't tried it and you do like passenger flying in Flight Simulator, then you definitely have to try it because it's just a different experience. It makes it a lot more enjoyable. You might have seen in the beginning of the video, I had the World Rally 2013 livery selected for this aircraft, and in my future flights with the MAMSIM DC-3 that I'm planning on, I'm most likely going to use the United Airlines livery, because eventually I do want to do flights for virtual United Airlines in this aircraft. But currently I'm at the first officer level in that airline, and you can only fly the DC-3 for credit for the virtual airline once you reach the captain level. So I'll just do some practice flights with this World Rally setup offline, and then eventually once I get to the captain level, I'll start logging my DC-3 flights to count for the virtual airline. This flight, since it does have cloud cover, mostly relied on VOR navigation, and that includes, using the calculator that I had mentioned in previous videos to correct for wind and things like that, to eventually make it from one VOR to the next. Here you saw me getting to one waypoint, and now setting my course for the next. So I seem to be heading now to waypoint 5, judging by the VOR frequency. And that's pretty close, if not already in Switzerland. Just looking at the flight plan. Yeah, it's not quite in Switzerland, but pretty close. Waypoint 6 is going to take us into Switzerland, and we're going to land in Geneva via an approach that follows along a lake. And I remember getting a little bit confused on that approach. It was either something with ILS or something with not being able to see the runway, but I guess we'll find out as the video progresses. Yeah, I think that lake, that large lake next to Geneva, is called Lake Geneva, from what I can make out on this map on my phone. We want to close our cowl flaps to descend to keep our engine warm enough. Pretty nice views for Flight Simulator 2004. I'm using the default clouds and fog. The fog doesn't look quite as nice because it kind of has a choppy blanket-like appearance to it. But there are a few freeware packs you can get, freeware add-ons for Flight Simulator 2004 for like scenery and airports and things like that. There's a really good one that I want to install that I got from flightsim.com. I'll put a link to that below. I'll see how it works out, but I'm worried that some of the aircraft that I've purchased, like the ERJ 145, that already has pretty low frame rates with the stock scenery, and maybe doing additional add-ons to the scenery will make it unflyable. So that's what I'm worried about, but I'll give it a shot anyway. My first priority is the aircraft itself. That's what I've invest money in for add-ons. I like complex systems. I like learning about the aircraft. I like really detailed virtual cockpits. So all the other stuff I would look into, especially if I had a faster, more powerful computer. But I have a gaming laptop, and I just kind of have to prioritize with my Flight Simulator add-ons. I actually haven't had frame rate problems with any other add-on except for the ERJ. Okay, so here we're about to land. I didn't show kind of the loop that I did, if I remember correctly, trying to find the airport. So this is my final approach. There's a little bit of a glitch with that fog you see down below. These approaches seem so slow compared to flying in a ERJ or something like a Boeing 737. It's kind of interesting to transition back and forth between the two. The approach speed is almost like the Cessna bush plane that I fly. Got blown off course the last minute there. I had to adjust. Good thing the runway is fairly long. So I think the next DC-3 video I'll make will be maybe in about a month or so, maybe a little bit more, because I do want to get the MAMSIM DC-3 and use that for the rest of these World Rally videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this flight into Geneva. Just going to taxi back to the parking area. Thanks again to DC-3 Virtual Airline for putting on this World Rally. I hope to make at least some of the one they do this year, 2014. And then we'll finish up these 5 flights that I haven't done. Alright, I've skipped ahead to where I'm going to shut down the engines and do a quick exterior shot of the aircraft. And I want to thank you guys for watching. If you did like this video, please hit the like button below. And if you want to see more of these videos, also subscribe. It really helps me out. I want to thank you guys again for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the virtual skies. Until next time.